The gentleman from New Mexico, Mr. Pearce, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the presentation that you each made. I was looking at an article from Forbes earlier this year and talking about looking at the stock market. It's just booming. The housing market's bouncing back. CPI, it's not even moving the needle. Gold, we've crushed it. Everything is great. Move forward, Mr. Gagnon. That would be you. Move forward, print more money, more QE. But then they go on and say, but Spain, hopelessly bankrupt, can borrow money at 5%. 60% of the home purchases in the major markets are being made by cash by hedge funds and inside groups. The Dow and S&P are hitting highest record highs, while 47 million people are on food stamps. The official unemployment rate is going down while the number of people not working is going up. CPI less than 2%. This is what I find in my district. We're 47th in per capita income. Mr. Gagnon, do you have a rebuttal to this idea that it's just an insider's game? That's the conclusion here. That what we've done is we've made this economy so complex that only the insiders are going to do okay. Everybody else is going to suffer, and suffer pretty badly. You're one saying print more money. Would you like to address the positions in this article?
Well, I haven't read the article. I am worried about inequality of income. It seems to me, though, that what the Federal Reserve is doing benefits probably the lower end of the income distribution more than anything, because buying the MBS has helped keep mortgage rates low, which rich people usually don't need to borrow as much as poor people do to get a mortgage.
If I could address that piece, that it's somehow helping the people on the low end of the spectrum, let me tell you what I hear at my town halls. I hear people say we lived our life correctly. We put money into savings accounts. We have 401ks. We paid for our house. Now the house is worth half what we paid for it. We get zero, 1/4% interest on our money. Seniors are more likely to use cash and cash equivalents than any other segment of society. And so what the printing of money is doing is driving everyone to these speculative higher rates of return that threaten our seniors more than ever. And so I don't find that the seniors are sitting here applauding the strategies. You also make the comment in your paper that, in your statement, that Bear Stearns, or that Lehman didn't have enough resources to bail them out. When I look at a list, I see that Bear Stearns had 34-to-1 asset to equity ratio, Morgan Stanley 33-to-1, Merrill Lynch 32-to-1, Lehman 31-to-1. It was the best of those four. Why do you say that they didn't have enough assets and the others did? Bear Stearns did.
Well, actually, I'm about to release a paper that looks at the balance sheets of all those institutions you named, and what's really striking is that even though it had a little bit less leverage, as you say, the value of the assets were vastly inflated for Lehman. Lehman was just overstating the value of its assets to a degree that was much higher than the other institutions, and so in hindsight it's lost a lot more.
So you think there is a relationship between debt and asset value? What do you think about the U.S.'s off-balance sheet accounting? In other words, we've got about $202 trillion that we don't consider as debt. That's Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So you declare that Lehman had off-balance sheet assets that were stated incorrectly. Do you have a position on the U.S. government's off-balance sheet non-assets loans that are stated incorrectly?
Well, one thing I would say is that a lot of these obligations are not legal liabilities like bonds. They can be changed legally over time, and we can find ways to save money on health care, for example, and so that can affect them in a way that you can't do to a bondholder.
Yeah, so you're saying that they're not really, that we really don't owe that money. I would challenge you to come out with one of my town halls and sit and listen to seniors who, by God, will tell you that you're going to pay their Social Security. They're going to be there with pitchforks. I will tell you, this, the anger in the American people is neck deep. The anger at the insider game that's going on here and the way that this economy is being manipulated It's not understood by the unsophisticated. They just know they've been had. And the printing of money is one of the biggest ways they've been had, and this Federal Reserve is the key to that. Yield back.